Today on the channel, the year plus wait is over as we've got Matt Cardona and Brian Myers from Zombie Sailor Toys.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another retro wrestling unboxing and review. And today, from Zombie Sailor Toys, we've got Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. But for all your wrestling figure needs outside of Zombie Sailor Toys, at least for now, hit up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle to save 10%. So today, the long-anticipated, long wait is finally over as we've got Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. The first two figures I'm unboxing here from Zombie Sailor Toys. As we know, Zombie Sailor making retros, making them with love and care of times from the past. And we'll talk about all these, of course, when we do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. As we take a look at the packaging, we talk about it, we unbox it, we talk about it, and we see where it goes from there. First thing I think we'd start off before the figures is, when you order the figures, there was these two flyers in here. Now, very cool, very nice card stock on this. We got Series 1, Heels and Faces right there. Heels and Faces is what the toy line is called, after all. But there's the whole Series 1. We're unboxing these all on the channel. Make sure you subscribe, turn the old notification bell on, all that kind of fun stuff. And on the back, a very nice note from Zombie Sailor back here. I'll get a copy of this and I'll pause. You can pause the video if you want to read this whole thing, but basically saying, hey, it was a long wait. Series 2, you're not going to have to wait as long. I hope you enjoy this. These were made with love and care. So that's kind of the Cliff Notes version. Now, this is a pretty cool one as well. Here is Series 2 going up for pre-order very soon. There's going to be two versions of Andre. Of course, we got Kevin Sullivan. We got Nick Gage on there. Bruiser Brody. King Kong Bundy, a nice mix of all kind of eras of wrestling right there. So very, very cool look here. And then on the back, we see kind of a little bit of a checklist. Old school style. It's like the old Kenner days. Get a little checklist here. And I hope he does carry this out. I would love to see a full-on poster one day of all of these. Just keep this style and give us all of it in a poster. Maybe a once-a-year thing, and you keep adding to it. But very, very cool. Love that kind of stuff. Love little throw-ins. Those don't cost a lot of money, but that's a nice little gesture. It's a nice little throw-in. A nice way to tote the fire a little bit for the next round, because obviously Zombie Sailor, a lot of success with Series 1. He wants Series 2 to be just that much more successful. Carry on the business. Keep going. Moving into Series 3, 4, 5. All the way up to 100, I'm sure, if not beyond, is what Zombie Sailor is hoping for. So without further ado, let's get after it. I guess we'll start with Brian Myers. We're going to go off to the right here today. So retros, of course, I am of the generation. I grew up as a kid loving the Hasbros. I was all in from Hasbro Series 1 all the way to the end, except the green cards. Never hit my area. Didn't know they existed until I got the internet. But that's a story for another day. But very, very timeless packaging here for somebody like me. This just does hit me in the nostalgia feels. This does feel like old school Hasbro, the carding, of course. And no doubt, there is retro figures all over the place. I can't trip without seeing a little retro figure somewhere along the way. Be it from Zombie Sailor, be it from Cella, be it from Rush, be it from Mattel, be it from CWF, and I'm sure there's more coming. It's retro overload. That being said, Zombie, after Mattel, was really the first one to get kind of things going. Cella right there with him. And the anticipation has been killing a lot of us. How are these going to feel in hand? What are they going to feel like? How are they going to look? A lot of questions to be answered here. Now, we have unboxed Cella figures. We've unboxed Mattel. We've talked Hasbros. We're going to get a keen eye here, and of course, we'll do some comparisons on this one as well to some of those other brands. But gotta say, packaging wise, and I know a lot of collectors will be leaving these in the package, you can't doubt how cool this package design is. Big old glamour shot of Brian Myers, of course, the figure in the bubble, heels and faces, and then that SummerSlam feel. If you guys remember the Hasbros at the SummerSlam, putting over old Ron Rudat. Ron Rudat, inspirational guy. I don't know if that's the right word, but Hall of Famer in the action figure game, that is for sure. Drawing a lot of our Hasbros, drawing the heels and faces. But for me, drawing the G.I. Joes back in the day. I remember being surprised that he did the wrestling figures, as I knew him as G.I. Joe. Me being a big G.I. Joe fan as a kid, of course, but just absolutely fabulous on the packaging on the front here. Official wrestling heels and faces. Ages 18 and up. Sorry, kids. Sorry, 16-year-olds. You got to wait till you're 18. I'm sure that's legality stuff, just to cover your own butt. That's what you got to do. I got the Major Pod logo down here. Zombie Sailor Toys logo as well. Official licensed product. Brian Myers got the name down there. I like that attention to detail. Then you look at the back of the packaging. quite the back of the packaging here. We got Matt Cardona, we got Brian Myers, we got Dino Bravo, we got Sabu, and we got Earl Hebner. And we're going to unbox every single one of them on the channel here, so I'm excited. A nice touch on the back of the packaging talking about this. They got the Ron Rudat designs. I think that is a cool touch. Let's be honest, these are adult collectors getting this. We love the whole history. We love the packaging. We love the figures. I really do appreciate this Ron Rudat little sketch here because it's really cool to look at the Hasbro ones online and stuff. And here it is right here, Brian Myers as drawn by Ron Rudat. Very, very cool. You got the cross-sell artwork there. Shows the same Zombie Sailor team right here, the creative director, Zombie Sailor, of course. You can follow him on social media. Give some thanks there. UPCs, warnings, all kinds of stuff. Choking hazard, contains small parts. You do get a blurb on the back for Brian Myers. 6'1", 235 pounds, from Bayside, New York. Known for his flawless abilities in the ring and beyond, the most professional wrestler. Host of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. Head trainer of the Creative Pro Wrestling Academy. Right there. And then it does talk about Ron Rudat. I'll read this once just for the heck of it. Ron Rudat is a legendary toy designer who has worked on many classic action figure lines throughout his storied career. Most notably being the lead designer on G.I. Joe in the 80s and WWE Hasbro figures in the 90s. Ron came out of toy design retirement to create the blueprints for each of the wrestling heels and faces figures. So Zombie might have got him ready to go back into another second life of his career, because we do know he is dabbling in making new G.I. Joe figures in an offshoot Kickstarter line as well. So it's crazy what this has done for old Ron in his career. He's getting out of retirement, I guess. So very, very cool. Without further ado, we're going to pop him out of the package. We've talked about it. We've overseen it all. I'm trying to figure out the best way to go. I really would love an on-card set of these. It's just I only have so much room. So no on-card set for me here. I don't want to totally mangle the package, as it totally is a work of art here. This is beautiful packaging. I can't recommend this packaging enough. There's a lot of cost in this. It does look beautiful, but it is also going to get the old-fashioned see you later up high. There it goes. Now we got Brian Myers. What is this going to feel like? How is this going to feel? Well, let's break it down. Let's get down to it. And it definitely feels like a retro-inspired figure, and it definitely feels different. It doesn't have the feel of the old-school Hasbro's, but man, it definitely looks like it. It does have that shine, that sheen, that cartoony sheen, but you know who it is at the end of the day. To me, this looks like Brian Myers. It's a cheesy smile on him. You got the bright blue eyes going, of course, the red long hair, the beard. Brian? It's a perfect adaptation into the cartoon style of what we get with Hasbro. So maybe it's not like a Mattel Elite head. That's what I'm getting at. Long story short. But this works. It works for this style of figure to me, and I like the looks of it. Now, the head does move. We got a little bit of articulation, not a ton. And continuing with all these other toy lines of retro figures, Cella, Zombie, obviously here, CWF, Rush Collectibles, they're not going to have the action. Of course, Brian is in the jumper position. The bane of Kyle's childhood existence, as I did not like the jumpers. Now, these do not have the jumper feature, so this is a little bit better. And I really do like the arms on this one. I like how they come up and down like this. And they're kind of at a nice arch where you can do a lot more moves. If you were a player, you can do that here. Very, very good look. Breaking this figure down, of course, the articulation on the arms. We talked about the head. You do get waist, and that's where it ends. There's nothing else. The legs are together in true jumper style. Got the black and silver edition. Could very easily see Zombie, now that he has the mold, he could do a repaint, give him more a classic blue outfit. I'm sure we'll see a lot of repaints of the major pod guys over the years. I think Matt Cardona from his death match has already been listed. It'll be going up for sale one of these days. So we already know all about this, but it does definitely look good. The paint apps, no issues, no paint splatter, nothing like that. I really like the gloss. The gloss is the attention to detail that I like on here. It's like a sheen. It looks really, really good. But you got Myers on the back of his butt. He does have his kids' names tattooed, so that is nice attention to detail. And then you got the hand wraps here on the hands. So very, very good. There is a peg hole on the bottom. Is it going to fit on a ringside collectible stand? We always do that test. And it does not seem to, well, you can jam it in there a little bit. So he will fit on a ringside collectible stand if you're keeping track at home. We always do that test. Not necessarily the greatest fit ever. And I don't know if you necessarily need a stand for these guys. Most retros, for the most part, will stand up on their own. But man, he looks really good. A really good retro. First impression, hey, I'm impressed. It's exactly what I thought it would be. It does definitely, like a lot of figures, I always say it about Jazzwares especially, looks better in hand. A very, very good Brian Myers figures. And we know these are all sold out right now, so there's no going back and getting these outside of eBay and stuff like that. So take that for what you will. Now we're going to turn our attention over to old Matt Cardona. Well, before we do that, how about a little comparison on Brian Myers? We'll do that real quick here. There he is against Chella's Hayabusa. Same kind of thing, no gimmicks, anything like that. Brian, I think they said he was, 6'1". Hayabusa was about that same. So the scaling isn't 100% between these two. Very, very similar go-to-markets here. And both are really good, actually. I got to be honest, both are really good. I do like the sheen on this. It does have the Hasbro sheen, where this is a little bit duller, but it depends. Some people don't like the sheen, some people do. But between the two, I like the sheen. I do like the sheen, but at the same time, I'm still going to be buying some of these Cellas, a lot of these Cellas. I like the looks of the Hayabusa figure. But scaling, they're close enough to be dangerous, and that's pretty much how these retro figures were back in the Hasbro days. So there you go, some comparison. We'll do some comparisons with Matt Cardona next up. But there is Matt in the packaging. Once again, big glamour shot, a lot of stuff, same as Brian Myers, so I won't dive too deep into it. You got Matt Cardona right there, and then on the back of the package, Matt Cardona, we got a little bio. We'll read that. UPCs, same warnings. We do get the Ron Rudat drawings, which I really do appreciate. Cross-sell all over the place. Fantastic packaging. Just really, really cool. But let's read the back. See what it says about old Matt Cardona here. Height, 6'2", weight, 230 pounds, from Long Island, New York. The Deathmatch King and Internet Champion is always ready. Host of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. Finishes off opponents with his signature move, Radio Silence. So there you go. Very cool designs there from Rod Rudat once again as well. All right, let's get him out of the package. I got to figure out the secret to unboxing these guys. And I don't like to damage the packaging too much, as I want to look at it at least one last time before I throw it in the garbage. That's the way it's going to go. But it does look pretty good. But there he is, right there, Matt Cardona. See you later. Off to the side. Goodbye. Now we get old Matt Cardona out of the package. Wow, I like the feel too. I mean, as much as I do like the action features, I feel only this day and age for the adult collectors, for what we're getting here, I feel like they're really not needed. And obviously it saves a lot of money, and these are pricey figures. There's no doubt about it. These are more expensive, smaller companies. You guys all understand that. We've talked a lot of business talk on the channel over the years. I prefer no action and getting a cheaper cost. Maybe that's just me, and if you're an on-card collector, you definitely don't care about the actions because you couldn't play with them anyways. But this does look really good. And much like Brian Myers, the arms seem very long, kind of gangly out there when you put him with his hands up, of course. We do have wrist tape, much like Brian Myers. Once again, we get the wrist tape. We do get the Hulk Hogan or Axe type pose with the hands open like that. Definitely looks like Ryder in the head. You get a lot more articulation on the head on this one with the shorter hair compared to Brian, where his locks limit his movement, and mine limit my movement too. So you do really win down here on the tights. The silver, black, blue, all going together. Looks really good. Obviously, it looks like his gear. You got Always Ready on the back. Purple, black, and silver throughout. Beautiful attention to detail. Beautiful figure all around. Paint apps on point. Hasbro sheen on point. I gotta say, beautiful, beautiful figures here. No doubt in my mind, this was worth the wait. And gosh, we gotta be honest, we've been waiting for a million things. And Zombie's just another one in the long line. Remember that 2+ year wait for Super 7 Thundercats? I sure do. So much stuff is coming and going. I don't get too worked up about the wait time on these things. And Zombie has said, he has promised, Series 2 will not have this kind of length of a wait. So I'm good with that. Does he fit on a ringside stand? He does fit, just like Brian Myers, and that looks pretty good. That gives a little bit more stability to the figure if you are so inclined. As always, 10% at ringside. Use discount code Kyle. Looks really, really good here. Of course, the articulation, arms up and down, head, waist, and that's it. Nothing on the legs, nothing down there. Very akin to a retro back in the day. Now, how about a little comparison to back in the day? Hulk Hogan Series 1. I'll never forget seeing him and picking him up the first day. Just shocked. I couldn't believe LJNs were over. Couldn't believe we moved to this scale. I said, I'm buying them, but I'm not quite sure. And then I played and had my first matches that night, and the rest was history, as one would say. But you can see the comparisons right there with the Hulkster. Man, how about that? How about that? Pretty cool. And then throwing it over to Cella right here. So, of course, Cella's Atom Bomb. You can kind of see the differences right here. So you can kind of see all the same pose, 3 different companies. What a time to be alive, as one might say. We'll put Hayabusa here. We'll put Brian Myers right there next to Cardona. and we're off to the races. First impressions, man, they are strong here. This is what I like. I'm really excited about some of the other characters we're going to get over the next few years. A lot of legends that I love that we need figures from. The biggest gripe I have is, where am I going to find room for all these Cellas, these Mattel retros, the Zombie Sailor retros? Where do you find room for all that stuff? I guess future Kyle, that's his problem, not current day Kyle's problem. But man, I'm here for these. I'm glad I picked these up. I'm anxiously awaiting Series 2, and hopefully you're anxiously awaiting the next review. Of course, Earl Hebner, Sabu, and Dino Bravo will unbox those in the next video, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit up the old notification bell, like this video. You made it this far, you might as well. And of course, follow along on social media at SirPaul64, on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, and of course, Patreon, where you can get videos like this much earlier than traditional YouTube. Best way to support the channel is on the Patreon. And make sure you leave me a note in the comments down below. You picking these two up? You passing? What is your plan with Zombie Sailor? Are you going to do some picking and choosing? Let me know in the comments down below. So for Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, I am Kyle, and I'll see you guys all real soon.